A new report claims it will shed light on Russian meddling in British politics, and especially the Brexit referendum of 2016. Now, CNN says they have some insight into the upcoming government report, thanks to Bill Browder. Now, Browder is a financier wanted for tax fraud in Russia. He's been a vocal critic of the Kremlin and even gave up his United States citizenship to become a citizen of the UK. Meanwhile, former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has come back out, and she's gotten involved while she's over in London. She's calling on Prime Minister Boris Johnson to release the report ahead of next month's general election. So to break this story down, we turn to investigative journalist Lee Stranahan. Thank you so much for joining us on this. I know I had to call you in on this one because I have to actually identify myself agreeing with Hillary Clinton. Does the UK government release the report, and should they do it today?
Well, let's talk about what they're doing here. This is a setup. So the reason Hillary wants this released is there were two sources for this. Bill Browder, who we'll talk about in a second, and a young man you may have heard of, Christopher Steele.
Wow, that name sounds familiar.
It does, right.
Same names reappear again.
So people have to understand, Browder and Steele were both involved in the 2016 election Russia hoax. I don't know how else to put it. And what people have to understand about that, the goal of that 2016 election hoax in the U.S. was not just to take out Donald Trump. It was to demonize Vladimir Putin. Now, why do they want to demonize Putin? 16.5 billion reasons, Scottie. That's what's going on here. So all anybody has to do is look up, just try this on your phone. Use the search engine of your choice. Try to type in Yukos, Y-U-K-O-S, Rothschild. Now, what you'll find is Jacob Rothschild, citizen of the UK, was given the shares of Yukos Oil by a guy named Mikhail Khodorkovsky when he was put in prison by Putin in 2003. That means this guy Rothschild has these shares that are worth $13.5 billion in theory, but they have no practical value. Why? Because the company, Yukos, has been nationalized.
Right.
So who do they have to get out of the way? Vladimir Putin. If they can get Putin out of the way, and Khodorkovsky, he's the guy behind this, billionaire, used to be the richest guy in Russia. By the way, anybody can, while you're Googling stuff, look up Senate Resolution 322. That is a Senate resolution in favor of this Russian, Khodorkovsky. We're supposed to be afraid of Russians. Guess who sponsored it?
Who?
Joe Biden. It had two co-sponsors.
So once again, another name that's coming up that's at the top of the same people.
Guess who the two co-sponsors are? Senate Resolution 322, 2005, 2006, not 2008. Barack Obama and John McCain. The two people who would run against each other in 2008 both supported Khodorkovsky in 2006. Why? Because there's a lot of money involved here. So what they want to do is they want to get rid of Putin. And Khodorkovsky's not shy about this. If you type in Khodorkovsky post-Putin, as soon as they get rid of Putin, the idea is then they can take over Yukos Oil, and those $13.5 billion in shares that went to Rothschild, citizen of the UK. So what they're trying to do here...
So bring the UK into this. What does that have to do with Brexit elections and this report that CNN even is adding into it will not release until Election Day?
Anything they can do to demonize Putin. The reason Hillary wants this to come out is she knows... Let's take a guess. I haven't seen the report. Let's take a guess what Steele and Browder are going to say. Right? We know what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, the Russians are bad. They were involved in this. We can't prove it, but we know that they had something to do with Brexit. Then Hillary gets to go, aha, see, Browder and Steele said it. And see, they're the same people we trust in the U.S.
And that's the thing that gets me. We have this whole Russian hoax here in the U.S. In fact, we're having impeachment hearings tomorrow, not on the Russian hoax, but on the Ukrainian issue that's come up. So why do Steele, as well as the others, still have so much credibility here? And why are they putting that much credibility in the UK on him?
Okay, let's take Steele. Okay, if you look at the Litvinenko case, that was the Russian double agent who was poisoned at a sushi place. Do you know who's the one who pinned that on Putin? Christopher Steele. Go look it up.
The same name over and over. Why has he not been even, I mean, he was congressionally, there were millions spent on that here in the United States. Now they're going to do the same thing in the UK. But more importantly, and then just to bring this back home, why does this cloud hang over, and what effect does that have on the people who are going to be going to the election polls in December?
It's an old CIA trick. Basically what they do is you get the information, they confirm it, it provides proof. Now you have Hillary Clinton saying, oh, look, the Russians did this. That makes international news. It all feeds in, but their whole goal is to take out Putin, not because of any human rights, anything. It's money. It's all money. They're very upset about Yukos oil. And by the way, the Magnitsky Act, the thing that Bill Browder says he's in favor of, go look that up. Yukos oil is mentioned right in the law. It's not about human rights. It's all about oil money, Scottie. That's what's going on.
Oil and dollars is what it's really about,
That's
not
right.
about memes and trying to influence people just through a few Facebook posts. Thank you for covering this, Lee. It's hard to clear through the debris and get right down to the nitty-gritty that is real news. New details are coming to light in the case of Jeffrey Epstein as more
Spread between the 2-year Treasury yield and the 10-year Treasury yield.
Several hundred students are staging a sit-in.
Amazon rainforest, and the blame game is underway. It's time for RT America. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button.